We begin tonight, actually, with a correction, an error on last night's show that I need to clear up. Last night, we covered reaction to the landmark federal court ruling striking down the gay marriage ban in California. After reading that ruling and not only absorbing that it overturned the gay marriage ban, but the way that it did it, the kind of language that the ruling used, I, on this program, sitting right here last night, said this. Judge Walker, who's a George H.W. Bush appointee, Judge Walker not only struck down California's gay marriage ban as unconstitutional, he also probably set the stage for what will be the next big court fight and the next big political fight. The anti-gay marriage side that was defeated in this case has already filed paperwork expressing their intention to appeal the decision. You should expect to hear lots of excerpts from Judge Walker's ruling, not only in the legal discussion, but I think you will hear it in the political fight that is sure to come as well, because I think many conservatives will see some of this language as explosive. The political fight that is sure to come as well. Correction time. That apparently is not happening. At least not yet. I mean, the legal fight goes on. The anti-gay marriage people are filing an appeal. But the political fight over this does not seem to be happening. Did you notice any big press conferences today in Washington? Anti-gay marriage, Republicans inveighing against this marriage ban being overturned? No, nothing. And Congress is in session. I mean, the Senate actually passed a big state aid bill today. The House was called back into session after members had gone home so they could pass it too. Members of Congress are around right now. But when this huge pro-gay marriage ruling came out, where were the outraged Republicans? Where are you? You guys used to be so good at this.
Marriage is a special institution between a man and a woman, and our Constitution and laws should reflect that.
When you do these vast social experiments, and that's what this is when you redefine marriage, it's a vast social experiment.
Marriage is between a man and a woman, and nobody ever thought that that was contested until recently.
Constitutional amendment is necessary. If enacted, it will effectively ban these illegitimate marriages nationwide.
There is no civilization which has condoned homosexual marriage widely and openly that has long survived.
Isn't it awful what happened to Scandinavia? I mean, come on, where's that fighting spirit today? I mean, not only was this a judge in San Francisco striking down a gay marriage ban, but with perfect timing now for the election in a few months, he struck down that ban in terms that I swear were designed to end up on anti-gay marriage Republican placards and bloody hand-printed campaign buses. I mean, he wrote this: the gay marriage exclusion exists as an artifact of a time when the genders were seen as having distinct roles in society and in marriage. That time has passed. Come on, where's the Republican Party? Karl Rove, where are you? What happened to your gay marriage as your great wedge issue? Where's the Republican Party making political hay out of this to run on in November? This is a long, slow curveball right over the plate for Republicans. If you want to be blunt about political opportunity here for Republicans, consider where President Obama is on this issue. Watch David Axelrod trying to explain the president's position on MSNBC this morning. Watch this man being turned into a human pretzel right before your very eyes.
The president opposed Proposition 8 at the time. He felt that it was divisive. He felt that it was mean-spirited, and he opposed it at the time. So we reiterated that position yesterday. The president does oppose same-sex marriage, but he supports equality for gay and lesbian couples and benefits and other issues, and that has been effectuated in federal agencies under his control. He's supports civil unions, and that's been his position throughout. So nothing has changed.
Got that? So the line from the administration is that Barack Obama does not want gay people to be allowed to be married. But when gay people can be married and other people are trying to take away that right, like in California, he doesn't want the right to be taken away. But he's not in favor of that right in the first place. You got it? The president is against gay marriage, but he is also against constitutional amendments to ban gay marriage, which means that he'd apparently prefer that gay marriage be banned through flimsier tactical means. That's the president's position. Clear as mud. Ripe for criticism much? But now, not only are Republicans not running on their favorite wedge issue, They're not even going after President Obama for what really counts as low-hanging fruit here. They're not going after President Obama for his impossibly tortured logic on this issue. I mean, it would be easy to do. Mr. President, do you stand with the voters of California who hate gay marriage? Or do you stand with that liberal activist judge in San Francisco who says there's no such thing as gender? Where do you stand, sir? I mean, Republicans are just letting this opportunity go. I mean, it's not that nobody on the right is responding to this. The far reaches of the right have had some great responses so far. The American Family Association called the judge who ruled on the case a black-robed tyrant. Quote, he has exceeded his constitutional authority and engaged in judicial tyranny. The spokesman for the Mormon Church, the Church of Latter-day Saints, a huge financial backer of Proposition 8 in California, responded to the ruling with this statement, quote, marriage between a man and a woman is the bedrock of society. That's verbatim. I do think that he said man and a woman singular, not women plural, but we are checking on that. And remember former Republican Senator Rick Santorum, the man-on-dog guy? He tweeted, quote, Prop 8 ruling another example of the left using the raw, detached, unaccountable force of the courts to impose their moral vision. Then there was former Republican House Speaker Newt Gingrich. He called it an outrageous disrespect for our Constitution and for the majority of people of the United States who believe marriage is the union of husband and wife. I'm not sure if wife number 3 was standing at Mr. Gingrich's side when he was bravely defending the sanctity of marriage, or if he just made that statement as a thrice a husband standing alone. But there has been some response on the right. Some response on the right, but it's been minimal, as well as a lot of it being inadvertently funny. As far as we can tell, there have only been a few conservative members of Congress weighing in on this. A couple of minutes after the ruling was released yesterday, Republican Senator Jim DeMint decried it as another attempt to impose a secular immorality on the American people. Other than Jim DeMint and maybe one or two others, reactions from Republicans have been muted, few and far between. Down in Texas, the Dallas Voice newspaper noted today, Republican Governor Rick Perry, who championed Texas's marriage amendment, hasn't said a word about the Prop 8 ruling. Likewise, we ain't seen squat from Republican Attorney General Greg Abbott or Republican Ag Commissioner Todd Staples, who helped draft our Texas marriage amendment. Perhaps the most telling indicator of where Republicans are on this is that today the National Republican Senatorial Committee, the committee to get Republicans elected to the Senate in this year's elections, they blasted out a mass email ignoring the Prop 8 ruling and instead railing against Obamacare, ignoring yesterday's giant favorite Republican wedge issue news in favor of old news that passed months ago. A state ban on gay marriage has been ruled unconstitutional by a federal court for the first time in American history. And the crusading protectors of marriage in the Republican Party, who love to run on this issue, instead are hiding. Come out wherever you are. Joining us now is Newsweek senior editor and MSNBC contributor Jonathan Alter, author of the new book, The Promise, President Obama, Year One. Mr. Alter, good to see you.
Hi, Rachel.
Where are the Republicans on this?
You know, I have to speculate here, so I got to introduce that caveat, because this is a real mystery, and I'm not sure that anybody has the full answer. So all I can do is offer some theories.
Okay.
The first one would be the conspiratorial theory, the stealth theory, that they're waiting to trap President Obama into endorsing gay marriage, and then they'll pounce on him. Right?
Okay.
So that
I like that one. I like conspiracy theories.
So that could be sort of one option. Another is, you know how the Obama team talks all the time about no distractions. Mm-hmm. They considered gays in the military last year to be a distraction, so that's why they didn't bring it up. I think they consider gay marriage right now to be a distraction from their agenda. It's possible the Tea Party folks also see it as a distraction from what they consider to be their core mission of destroying President Obama.
Okay.
So
well,
if they don't think that this is their best bet, according to their calculation of bringing him down, then they'll save their ammo. They like that word, ammo, for other kinds of issues. And you have to remember, if you look into the DNA of this Tea Party movement, it was not started by social conservatives, but by libertarian economic conservatives. If you look at the motivations and read the interviews with the organizers of the movement, the leaders of the various Tea Party organizations, they are not religious right. by and large. They have quite a number of members who are, but that is not at the core of their movement. And they are driving things in the conservative wing of the Republican Party. So ever since Terry Schiavo, which was the high watermark for the religious right in this country, everything's been downhill for them since politically.
Well, but on that issue, it's an interesting allegory between left and right. I mean, on the left, gay people, of course, are repulsed at having our civil rights being seen as a distraction, and we long have been, right? But the allegory for that on the right is that the social conservatives are sort of repulsed by having the issues that are so close to them being seen as a distraction. The question is, if social conservatives see themselves being pushed out by the sort of more libertarian-minded Tea Party folks, why aren't they expressing any dissatisfaction and anger about that? Why aren't we seeing more fighting between the social conservatives and the rest of the Republicans and conservative folks?
Well, they don't have clear leaders now, although I'd be interested to see what Governor Huckabee